Welcome to This Explainer. I am so glad you're joining me today because we are going to demystify the single biggest transformation happening in the Indian job market right now. And yeah, you guessed it, it's artificial intelligence. Look, we all hear the hype, right? We read the alarming headlines. But today, we're cutting through all that noise. We're sticking strictly to the facts, the hard data, and some really surprising real-world stories to understand exactly how AI is reshaping careers across India. And most importantly, we're going to figure out how you can position yourself to not just survive, but actively thrive in this whole new era. So, let's just address the elephant in the room right off the bat. Will AI take your job? I mean, this is the question on literally everyone's mind. It's a completely valid fear, and if you've been feeling a bit anxious about your job security lately, I want to validate that right now. The landscape is absolutely shifting underneath our feet. The uncertainty of what AI means for our daily livelihoods is frankly a heavy burden to carry. But to conquer that fear, we really have to look it right in the eye and see exactly what the data is telling us. Just consider this staggering statistic. According to a recent global survey spanning 21 countries, a massive 75% of Indians are worried about AI taking their jobs. When asked if AI would replace their specific role, 36% said definitely yes, and another 39% said probably yes. What's kind of wild is that this level of anxiety in India, along with places like Pakistan and Indonesia, is actually the highest in the entire world. It far exceeds the concerns of workers in places like Germany or Japan. And honestly, this fear is totally grounded in reality. The numbers we're seeing from early 2025 are pretty sobering. Globally, we've seen over 177,000 tech workers laid off. Out of those, around 78,000 job cuts were linked directly to AI-driven automation. We're talking about massive giants like Amazon cutting 14,000 office jobs to focus on AI logistics, and Chegg reducing nearly half its staff as AI tutoring takes over. Even right here in India, major IT firms like TCS, Infosys, and Wipro have deliberately slowed down their entry-level hiring, just because AI can now handle all that basic coding and testing work.
So what's actually on the chopping block here? Well, the roles facing the highest automation risk all share one really specific common trait. They are highly repetitive and rule-based. Whether we're talking about assembly line workers in manufacturing, routine warehouse operations, or basic customer service centers handling common FAQs, if a task can be broken down into a predictable, repeating series of steps, it is highly vulnerable to advanced robotics and AI chatbots. Simply put, the technology just does it faster and more consistently.
Okay, let's dive into this, because the data actually flips the whole narrative on its head. AI isn't just some terrifying threat looming in the distant future anymore. It's literally become a daily habit. According to the Talent Trends India report, a striking 73% of Indian professionals are now using generative AI at work. Just 2 years ago in 2024, that was only 47%. From writing emails to summarizing long documents, AI has rapidly become as normal a workplace tool as a spreadsheet or jumping on a video call.
But wait, here's where the story gets incredibly fascinating. And it's something almost no one is talking about. While software engineers in Bengaluru are using AI to code, India's informal workers are actually the ones teaching the AI how to exist in the physical world. In Chennai, a 25-year-old housewife named Nagi Reddy Sri Ramya Chandra literally straps a camera to her head and records herself doing mundane household chores, like slicing mangoes, to train AI-powered robots.
And this brilliantly illustrates what I like to call the hidden economy of AI. She is making 250 rupees an hour just for doing this work. Global tech companies desperately need this first-person footage. It's known in the industry as egocentric data, to teach machines how to mimic human behavior and navigate real-life environments. Thousands of Indians in homes, factories, and specialized studios are acting as an essential global bridge for AI data creation. They are, quite literally, training the robots of tomorrow.
Now, zooming out for a second from the household to the macro level, look at the state of Telangana. They've seen an absolutely massive GDP growth of nearly 196% over the last decade, and they are pioneering something called Industry 5.0. Now, this isn't just about total blind automation, it's about human-centric, smart factories. In their pharmaceutical and electronics sectors, humans are collaborating seamlessly with cobots, that's collaborative robots, augmenting human creativity with advanced AI to drive sustainable, massive-scale manufacturing.
And all this localized stuff ties perfectly into the massive global picture. The World Economic Forum estimates that while automation could displace about 85 million jobs globally, it is simultaneously expected to create 97 million entirely new roles. I mean, do the math. That is a net positive. AI is not just a tool for replacement. It's a supercharged engine for job creation. It's tearing down old industries, sure, but it's building new ones at an even faster rate.
So, what exactly do these new roles look like? Well, as AI gets integrated into literally every business out there, we're seeing a surging demand for people who can actually govern, train, and guide these systems. We need AI ethics specialists to make sure algorithms are fair and completely unbiased. We need data annotators to clean up the data these models learn from. And we urgently need integration specialists to help traditional, legacy businesses actually implement this technology effectively. Bottom line, humans are required to make AI work.
Let's zero in on one of the absolute most exciting and accessible new skills you can learn right now. It's called prompt engineering. And the best part? You don't need to be a data scientist with a PhD to master this. It's simply the art and science of talking to AI. It's knowing how to write the exact, perfectly worded instructions to get the highest quality output from a generative AI model. It's rapidly becoming a highly sought-after specialization across almost every single white-collar industry today.
And hey, if you needed a financial incentive to start upskilling today, well, here it is. According to World Bank data, jobs requiring basic digital skills offer about a 12% wage premium. But roles that specifically require AI expertise, they command a whopping 28% wage premium in the market. The demand for these skills in tech hubs like Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Chennai is skyrocketing, and companies are more than willing to pay top dollar for talent that knows how to leverage AI.
Now, what I find really fascinating is exactly who is feeling the most pressure here. While 73% of professionals use AI, the fear of job loss definitely isn't spread evenly. Only 33% of the overall workforce is deeply concerned about their long-term security. But if you look at temporary workers, that jumps to 65%. Freelancers are at 60%. Anxiety is heavily concentrated among less secure workers, which just proves how urgently we need structural adaptation and continuous accessible learning to protect the people who are most vulnerable.
So the crucial point is, you just cannot afford to be a passive bystander right now. Here's your concrete step-by-step future-proofing playbook. Step 1, get out there and learn the fundamentals of AI on free platforms. Step 2, figure out how to automate the boring, repetitive parts of your current job. Step 3, double down on your uniquely human skills. Step 4, practice prompt engineering like we talked about. And finally, Step 5, build a small, hands-on project to prove to yourself and to future employers that you actually know how to wield these tools.
To really cement your value in this new market, you have to understand the fundamental difference between machine and human capabilities. AI is practically unbeatable at logic, calculation, and finding patterns in massive oceans of data. So don't try to compete with a machine on its home turf. It won't work. Instead, lean hard into what humans excel at: emotional intelligence, complex and nuanced problem-solving, empathy, and raw creativity. Hiring managers are actively telling us they are placing way greater emphasis on judgment and adaptability because those are the human qualities technology simply cannot fake.
And look, the really good news is that you absolutely don't have to navigate this massive transition alone. The Indian government has actually launched comprehensive initiatives to democratize tech literacy across the board. You have programs like SOAR, which has already enrolled over 130,000 students. There's Future Skills Prime for working professionals, Yuva I for younger students, and Bashini, which is an amazing tool breaking language barriers by leveraging AI for over 36 local languages. The resources to upskill are out there, and a lot of them are completely free.
Which brings us to our final, absolute most important takeaway today. I want you to remember this. AI won't replace you, but a professional using AI, they very well might. The entire landscape has changed, but the power to adapt is sitting right there in your hands. So, the only question left is, are you ready to adapt? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll catch you next time.